Welcome to Fine Art Made Easy, Lesson 5, Part 2. Okay, let's look at the picture. So for this part, you're going to mix the background and the foreground. So there's not really much going on in the background and the foreground, so I will change it slightly. Okay, so we can look at the black and white to see the values a little bit more easily. There you go. So it's on the background, there's not much going on. The foreground on the right side is a little bit darker than the left side. Okay. So these are the mixes you made in part 1. Okay, so for the background, it's just the top left. That's all we're going to do for the background. Foreground are the next two on the top. So one is slightly lighter than the other one. And the bottom two are the shadows for the two objects. Now I'm going to show you how to paint the background, the foreground, and the shadows. So this is the final painting that you're going to start painting. But this is, now it will look different from when I'm painting because this is just in daylight. This is what the picture really looks like in the daylight. So this is what you would actually see. When I'm recording with artificial lights. They look a bit orangish, but this is what it will look like when you're painting it. So don't get too worried about what it looks like when I'm doing it. So just a straightforward background, dark background, like a burnt umber. It's more burnt umber than black for sure. Okay, the foreground, it's the same mixtures as lesson 2 and 3, basically. Light up here, and it's sort of lightish here, and it's dark. Okay, they got the main object here, reflected light here from the cardboard box on the side here, which you can't see, and this reflected light here from here. Okay, so light hits here and goes onto this one. Okay, it's just a simple study, and you've got the ellipses, not perfect ellipses, but it's sufficient for this class, because in the future lessons we do ellipses again, but they'll be done differently, and you're going to make sure everything is, see, look at the way it goes around there and the way around there is. Okay, and this is the other object here. So this is what you should be aiming for this lesson. Okay, but before you do this lesson, I'm going to talk about the other final paintings for the other lesson 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so hopefully before you start lesson 5, you start lesson 2. Okay, the painting lesson. Okay, so you've got here just a simple cube here, made it 3-dimensional. We've got a shadow here, with the background from darker to slightly lightish, and the foreground darker to slightly lightish here. So after you finish this one, I'm going to show you lesson 3. This is lesson 3, the sphere. Okay, again, dark to light, dark to light. Okay, but there's more emphasis on the actual sphere itself. That's the main thing, and the two shadows there. Okay, so that's lesson 2, the cube. Lesson 3, the sphere, and now we're going to look at lesson 4. So this is lesson 4, the two cubes, so complementary colours. Yeah, again, dark background, a little bit lighter there, dark to light, it's the same thing, but the shadows, darker shadow there, lighter shadow there. Okay, so 2, the cube, 3, the sphere. This is lesson 4, and now you're going to start lesson 5. Okay, so hopefully by the time you start this lesson, lesson 5, you would have done lesson 2, 3 and 4 without any issues. Okay, so good luck for this lesson. Okay, let's start with the background. So it's just this for it's dark for the black background. What I'm going to do now is, it's probably easier, I'm going to do the foreground obviously, it's probably easier to do dark bits underneath here. First of all, there's a little one here, but I think we do this one here. This will be, we use some of the original of this, and there's some ultramarine blue, quite a bit. Doesn't matter if it's thick, we can get around that one. I mean, it's the same for this one. Now that one is clearly wrong, so we have to straighten it out. And here, I want to get that one in now. That is more, I'd say more burnt umber. It's some burnt umber. And I'm even going to use a bit of the Windsor yellow actually. Yeah. Maybe a bit too light, so I'm using a little bit of the, I just make for that one. Okay. I'll do the foreground, so we'll do a bit of this stuff. little brush now, and I'm going to just do this one. This is a little, I think this is a little bit light, so I'm going to use a lighter one for this one. Yeah, it seems to be. It's a bit darker on the edges, but that's okay. Use the other brush. So I'll clean the brush and now I'm going to use the other one, the lighter one. Doesn't matter about that. The thing is, the paint's gone a little bit thick around the rim here, so that's look good. I'll try and get rid of that thick bit of paint there. That's fine. Small brush and do top bit here. It's only a little bit, so just that's nothing. Okay. Now we do the shadows. Down a little bit. we do this shadow first. Okay, so this would be this one. I just realised this shadow is lighter than this one, same as the last lesson with the 2 cubes. So, but that's okay. I can always accept that. That's not bad. That's not bad. The hue's pretty bang on. That's good. That's for how light it is. It looks dark enough, but I have to wait for it to dry before we can really tell. A little bit. Okay, I'll just blend that in there. That's fine. That's fine. This one needs to be darker, so I'm going to add a bit of. I'm going to add a bit of black that we just made for the background. I think that would be a bit brownish, but and maybe a bit of that one just to do it. Let's have a look. Should be darker. Definitely darker. Okay, I think we leave it at that. As always. Just blend it in a little bit just to give it a bit of, bring it together. Fine. I think we can just smarten up a little bit. When we're going to go over it again, so it doesn't really make any difference. But if you want to just smarten it up a bit. That's fine, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Please go to lesson 5, part 3.